let's cook this reaction just a little bit rare. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with another set of Rare Americans videos. And I say set lightly because it's just two. We only have two left on our current list. And that is, let me make sure I got these names right, as always. We have Demons and Young Minds. So, for those who haven't paid attention, or if you're new to the channel, the Rare Americans are a band that has animated music videos. They're animated by like the same people, and all of their songs and videos tend to have notable themes associated with them. They're not just like, fun, boppy music. They usually touch on serious subjects such as depression, just life in general, politics, and so many more things, so many more. And one of the big appeals of them is that there's often characters who return. Even if the songs aren't directly connected, like not everyone is going to be like a Brittle Bones Nikki situation where there's a number of those different videos as a series. But even when they're not directly connected, some of the characters from certain videos can return for future ones. And a lot of these characters tend to be anthropomorphic animals, but there are human characters as well. It just depends on the video, the theme, the topic, etc. Whatever they wanted to do at the time. Now, we have two more here, and these are pretty vague titles. And they could mean, I feel like, a number of things. First, we have demons. Demons, makes me think of two things initially. One, the supernatural entities associated often with hell or the underworld, which is very likely not going to be what this is about, though it could use that in metaphor to represent something else. But I think more likely this might be about like inner demons, like personal demons that a person can have in regards to their life. Inner demons can be kind of anything. Anything that haunts you, anything that really just like fucks with you over your life, fucks with your mental health, your emotional health, etc., etc. It can be trauma that you've undergone. Your inner demons can be based around specific people, specific situations, specific pieces of iconography, so much like that. And so it can even be yourself, really. Because of that, though, this is still a pretty vague topic. If it is about that kind of thing, it could be about so many different subtopics and whatnot that you still don't really know exactly what this is going to cover. Now, Young Minds, again, could cover a number of different things. From just how people tend to think when they're young versus when they grow up and stuff. Or just a number of things like that. It's like, it's so vague you just can't tell exactly what it's referencing. And I don't know what to expect going into these. But I do tend to enjoy these videos, and I'm very interested to see what we get with this last set. For now, at least. We might get more in the future. Hopefully, we get more in the future. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what we have in store here. And hopefully These two videos end up, at least for now, leave us off on a good note. Though I think this is like, I want to say the ninth Rare Americans video, which if this is how we kind of leave off, it's going to be a little disappointing. It's like, oh, we're like doing, we have 9 Rare Americans videos now. What a number to leave off on, right? What a disappointing number. Although maybe we have 10 because I think the Brittle Bones Nikki 3 video I separated into its own thing. I think I did that as its own thing. So maybe there's technically 10, but if you want like multiple multi-vids with multiple reactions each one, then there's only 9, with this one included. Anyway, we're going to get into this, see what this has in store, and hopefully these videos and songs end up hitting a good note. So let's find out. Hold up just a second there. Before you click that link down in the description below to go to today's reaction, I just wanted to take this moment real quick to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. Between Monday and Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions, with 2 on Wednesday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. I do pre-record them during the week, but upload them on the weekend. And don't forget about all the awesome gaming content over on the Princess of Gaming channel. Every single day of the week, we have some awesome Let's Plays for you. A bunch of different things to check out, and more coming in the future. And don't forget to click that subscribe button or like the video if you really enjoy the content I'm putting out. There will be more to come in the future. In the meantime, thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get this going. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, yeah, pretty short reaction there, just because there's only 2 of these, and they're music videos. They're not going to be super long. Demons I was pretty spot on with, like with my prediction about it being inner demons. And then the second one we have here, which was Young Minds, is basically a follow-up to Stupid Heart, which we reacted to, was one of the last ones we reacted to as a part of a set. Because I think the last one we actually reacted to was Brittle Bones Nikki 3. And that one features Hank. He's been a recurring character now. He started in Brittle Bones Nikki 2, and then he was in Stupid Heart, and now he's in this. I actually want to talk about Young Minds first. I know it's the second one I watched, but let me talk about that first here, because it's the freshest on my mind at the moment. So, in Brittle Bones Nikki 2, we're introduced to Hank, and he's like basically acting as a sort of a ferryman, except it's like a mine cart instead. Bringing Nikki into, like, you know, the afterlife. And then in Stupid Heart, we expand upon him. We find out when he was young, he fell in love with this girl. But it turns out that she was already taken. An issue that definitely people have faced, myself included, at various points in their lives. You fall in love with someone but find out they're already with someone else. And because of this, he ends up locking away his heart and, you know, burying it in a volcano. Because he feels like he doesn't want to face that. It's not even rejection, per se. He doesn't want to face that pain again of falling in love with someone and, you know, not being able to follow through on it. And in the end, even after he reconnects with her years later, he has to let her go. He has to move on from those feelings. He gains this sort of familiar relationship with her where it's like, oh yeah, they wave at each other and all, but he ends up moving on to a point where he can find a healthy outlook on himself and on life again. He brings back his heart, and he's able to find someone else. He finds a wife, he has kids, and that's where this one comes into play. Young Minds centers around him and his wife having difficulties. Something that, again, like spouses go through. Something that people face in relationships all the time. They're having difficulties, and he assures her by showing her that he's giving her his heart. He assures her that, yeah, he's made mistakes, he's fucked up, he's had problems, but that just means he has room to grow, and that he's willing to put forth the effort to do so. That he's not only acknowledging his fuck ups, but he's choosing to do something about it. He's showing maturity. That with our young minds, we tend to make mistakes, we tend to mess up all the time. But it's a part of growth and maturing that we are able to work through that and better ourselves. And he's telling his wife in this, give me a chance to prove that I can be better. Give me a chance to prove that this isn't the end of my story. The end of our story. That I can improve on myself so that I don't make those same mistakes again. Which, unfortunately, is not something that a lot of people do. A lot of people don't have that level of self-reflection to be able to not only acknowledge that to themselves, but to their partners, who they might have slighted at some point and in some way. And I think the events of the previous video with Hank are the reason why he's able to show this maturity. He's already gone through these kinds of issues, these kinds of mistakes. And if not for that, if not for the heartbreaks he suffered, the pain he went through, he wouldn't have already matured enough to be able to have this self-reflection. Not only does this obviously teach a good message to the listeners and viewers about taking accountability for your actions and striving to be better, but it's also just a good continuation of Hank's character in a way that feels satisfying and realistic for what we've gotten prior. And so yeah, it's a really, really good follow-up to Stupid Heart. I really like that they chose to have him, make mistakes, because he's, a person, and people make mistakes. I think it was a very smart decision. That being said, let's talk now about demons, because this one was, like I was saying, pretty much what I was thinking it was going to be. I was talking about how it's probably inner demons, and it might use the actual depiction of demons as a metaphor and everything. It's yeah, that is exactly what it did. So we focus on this young teenager. He's in high school, and he's facing his inner demons. And said demon is telling him that he's not enough, and is making him focus on people in his class who are laughing and stuff. He assumes they're laughing at him, and just all of the different anxieties and issues that are going through his head in regards to everything. But he eventually puts on these glasses that allow him to see not just his inner demons, but everyone else's. He realizes that he's not the only person struggling with these thoughts, with these painful intrusive, terrible thoughts. That everyone faces this. And we see through the depictions shown with the other students and people around that different people face different demons. They have different things that bring them down or scare them or concern them or, hurt their lives, etc. You could have someone who's just extremely anxious, someone who has, image issues, etc., etc. A lot of different things we get to see. And so, in kind of rebellion of this idea of letting these inner demons control his life, control his mindset, he chooses to take a drastic transformative turn with his look, shaving and dyeing his hair and everything, and making a big point of showing it off at school. He then confronts people and tells them that we're all facing these same thoughts, these same issues, these same pains and concerns. And he rallies the other students together into taking back their lives and choosing to live in a way that allows them to, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. I'm not always great at that. But to live in a way that allows them to kind of embrace who they are and ignore the voices in their heads telling them they're not enough for whatever reason. And this culminates, of course, in them painting a mural. And the mural at the end is it has all the insults and stuff that they feel like people call them and all, and sometimes probably do. And they basically have the mural representing them pushing those thoughts out, choosing to embrace themselves instead. It's, once again, a great message. And it's not an easy to act on message, because people's inner demons can really fuck them up. It's the kind of stuff that has led to a lot of pain. And speaking from my personal experience is definitely a contributing factor to my having been suicidal back in 2013. A lot of that came through my own thoughts and my own perspectives on how people were treating me and everything. And just how people were acting around me and all. And so it's something that, like I had said, definitely almost got me to crack there, almost got me to break. I did manage to hold it in, but I was getting teary-eyed. And yeah, it's because I was thinking of the personal connection with that. And I admit, I was also getting a little choked up at the end of Young Minds as well, but that was more for the continuing story that Hank was going through. The message of demons is definitely something anyone can connect to, I feel. Because again, everyone goes through these kinds of thoughts to some degree. It can manifest in a bunch of different ways, and it's a really good lesson to teach not just teens who might watch this, but anyone, because this can happen at any age. But it's a good message to teach that you deserve to love yourself, and that you shouldn't let your own self-inflicted intrusive thoughts destroy your self-worth. it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and it's something that a lot of people will continue to, even after hearing this kind of message. But it's also a good message to hear because it definitely can help the healing process. So, yeah, I think out of these two, Demons was my favorite. Even though Young Minds had the continuing story and everything, Demons definitely hit on a more personal note for me. In terms of just the music, in terms of just the like quality of the song, for my opinion, I do prefer the song for Young Minds more. But that's only one aspect of things. Again, the message was definitely more connecting with me for Demons than Young Minds, and I just personally enjoyed it more because of that. The visuals were pretty much like equal because it's like, same style and everything. But yeah, I did enjoy this, and I'm glad we got to this today, even if it was just a really short one. But hopefully we'll get to more Rare Americans videos in the future. In the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of these two videos from the band? What were your thoughts on the themes and messages of them? What were your thoughts on the return of Hank? Let me know. And thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.